Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask Me Anything, where we answer your real estate questions. This is the February 2022 edition, and I'm your host, Theresa Grant.
And I'm Alonzo Corrujedo.
And welcome to the show. Before we dive in on today's question, I would just like to remind everyone that we have had so much fun as the comments have been coming in, whether it's been by DM or a comment on our YouTube channel or on Instagram or something like that. We keep getting so many questions tossed our way, and frankly, we're having a lot of fun doing this, don't you think?
Yeah, making videos is a lot of fun.
And making videos is fun, but so is actually talking about, answering people's questions.
Interacting with you.
Exactly. So as a reminder, this show is for you. So if you have any questions about the real estate market, whether it's our market area or someplace else, or if you've got questions about real estate in general, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and we will answer your question on a future episode. So with that done, we're just going to dive right into the magical Ask Us Anything jar that Yesenia made for us. Oh, I know who asked us this question. Cool. Okay. The question is, can a first-time buyer buy a foreclosure? Ooh, yeah. I love this one. This is good. So Alonzo, what do you think?
I think they can.
I think you're right.
I think it's possible.
I think that basically a first-time buyer can buy anything, because being a first-time buyer or an intermediate buyer or an investor buyer or someone who's bought, 5 homes, 50 homes, it really doesn't matter. You can buy anything you want to. I would think, though, that the actual question that would segue to is, should a first-time buyer buy a foreclosure property?
That's a good question. Could the foreclosure property be a little bit physically obsolete?
Well, one of the things that you've got to consider when it comes to foreclosure properties is that not all foreclosure properties are handled the same way by every asset management company. Some of them have a budget up front where they go to the listing agent who's handling that for that bank or that asset management company, and they say, your budget is X amount. Go make sure that the health and safety issues are taken care of, and then if there's cosmetic issues that should be addressed, like maybe we need to put in new carpet or we need to paint the interior of the house or something like that, we can start, making some of those changes. Other asset management companies, when they look at what was owed on the property versus what the resale value is, they'll just basically go in and do the bare minimum. Like, they'll make sure that there's smoke detectors and there's carbon monoxide detectors, and they'll make sure that there's that the water heater is strapped for earthquake safety, and then they don't touch another thing, because the basic rule with foreclosure properties is that they're sold as is, where is. You can still go have a home inspection, but very often, even if you have that home inspection, if you come back and you try to negotiate repairs or a reduction in price or something like that, in my experience, the asset manager has basically come back and said, no, the contract says as is, either move forward or walk away. So for any buyer, not just a first-time buyer, I would say that if you're going to buy a foreclosure property, go in with your eyes like wide open, because you're really going into a property that's got minimal disclosures and may or may not have had repairs done to it.
Yeah.
So at that point, you kind of have to balance out, do you want the house? Is it worth what they're asking? Knowing that there could be some surprises. After close of escrow, are you prepared to do that?
And your first-time home buyer is going to want to utilize a 3.5% down FHA a lot of the time. The first-time home buyer is going to say, well, I only have to put down 3.5%. And then if the lender requires repairs,
we're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor buyer is stuck. So the answer to the original question, can a first-time buyer buy a foreclosure? Absolutely, a first-time buyer can buy a foreclosure. You can buy a regular resale property. It doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or not, but be aware that there are some different intricacies to purchasing a foreclosure property that are radically different from a regular resale. And be sure to speak with your realtor and make sure that you understand the entire process. That would be my advice. So a little bit more than the original question answered,
No,
but
that's a good question though.
yeah, I kind of like
Point is,
that.
you can buy anything you want, but just be careful. Just look around.
And have a home inspection
Yeah.
and understand what you're getting into, so that at the end of the day, when you're closing escrow and you're getting your keys, you're like, yay, I've got keys to my new house. And that feeling lasts.
Yeah. But it is totally possible. You can buy a foreclosure for your first home.
Absolutely. And I have a couple people that did that back in the day. It was their very first home, and they got some really good deals with foreclosure properties because they were willing to go in and say, you know what, I'm accepting some of the risks. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to put in some sweat equity and some effort into this property, and I'm going to make it into what I want it to be. So, you know, that's why I like to say eyes wide open and move on from there. Ooh, pun not intended.
You may have to make a few repairs before the close of escrow, but it could be worth it for you.
Absolutely. So, okay, I think that we've answered that question. I'm satisfied with that.
I think so too. That ends our video. Bye for now. Oh, are you going to say it?
Okay, how many times do we go through this when we're doing the Ask Me Anything? I can't believe he tried to hijack the episode. So here's the actual real closing.
My bad.
Thank you so much for joining us. As you can tell, these are not scripted. We just sit down and we just look at a question and we answer it and we banter back and forth, and sometimes things happen. So as we end this episode, I'm just going to say thank you so much for joining us. Remember, if you don't want to miss any of our videos, I mean, why would you want to miss any of our videos? Remember to like and subscribe. If you've got a real estate related question, put it in the comment down below. And now we're going to sign off, and I'm just going to say bye for now.
Bye for now, everyone.